Hey up. Time for more millennial trash, it would seem. This episode we are taking a look at Hunting Humans. This is a 2002 American horror film, written and directed by Kevin Kangas, who I've never heard of before. Looks like he mainly does this sort of low-budget schlocky horror thing. He's not really done much that I recognised. Something called the Fear of Clowns series. I've never actually heard of it though. And it looks like he's still active today though, so good for him. The film stars Rick Gans, who, like Kevin Kangas, hasn't really done much of note, nothing that really stood out to me anyway. He has worked with Kangas again on the Fear of Clowns series, but that's all I could really find on him, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I've not been looking forward to watching this one, mostly just based off of this cover. I don't know, I struggle to think that I'm actually gonna like it, but you never know, do you? Let's have a look, shall we? See if I'm pleasantly surprised.
My name is Eric Blue. A-R-I-C. The only reason you're still alive is because I've decided to let you live.
Sure thing. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
The film follows Eric, spelt with an A, who is a secret serial killer and cocky arsehole. He monologues to himself about how he's the greatest serial killer there's ever been, how he knows everybody's pattern because people are just so predictable, and about how he's got away with murdering over 100 people. But one day, when he goes to do one of his murders, the victim already turns out to have been killed, and there's a note pinned to him saying that they know Eric's pattern. So now Eric is trying to outsmart another serial killer so that he doesn't become a victim himself. You know what, there's a plot here, there is a story to this, and this could work, but unfortunately the film is so bogged down with pacing, it's so boring to watch and I couldn't wait for it to be over. Most of this film is just Eric monologuing ad nauseum about his process, and then he'll introduce and instantly badmouth any character that he comes across. You can see the influences here. It's a little bit Fight Club, it's a little bit American Psycho, but it's lacking all the charm and all the subtleties to those films.
I know your heart. You've got one like mine. It's dark and mangled, twisted and ugly. You think you're better than me.
Then he'll head back to work where he'll sit in a parking lot and eat every pickle before going in. Every pickle.
As you've probably guessed, the acting isn't great. People keep stumbling over the lines and it's all just very flat. Not good. Rick Gans, though, weirdly fits well into the role of the angsty narcissist killer. Not really a compliment, I guess, but what are you gonna do, eh? There is gore and there is nudity in this film, but there's not a lot of either. There's nothing really to scream about with this. As I said, most of this film is just Eric narrating while moving from one location to another. I need to talk about the camera work in this as well, because it's awful. It's absolutely terrible. Now you can tell that they're working with some very confined sets. So because of this, they don't actually know where the camera should be in order to get the shots that they need. So because of this, we get a lot of really weirdly angled shots, the composition's all off, Dutch angles, out of focus sometimes as well. It just comes across as lazy and cheap. The music also was a bit disappointing. Now I was saying in the last episode in Rain in Darkness that I wanted some angsty metal music to go along with it. And we do get some in this film, but unfortunately it's so badly mixed with the rest of it that it just comes across as really annoying. This film's kinda like Nutbag that we covered earlier in the series, but it's probably more competently made than Nutbag, and that's to its detriment because it loses some of that charm and that weirdness, and it makes it a hell of a lot less entertaining.
Eric, how are you? We were all worried sick when you didn't show yesterday. I'm good, Ken.
Eric.
Who are you?
Dark.
So of course, you've probably already seen, this is prime Millennium Trash, but the real big giveaway, for me anyway, was the editing. Lots of really rapid cuts, back and forth, pointlessly cutting, mixed with like really abrasive loud sound effects, and then you've got the angsty tone on top of that, and it's right at home in the early 2000s. There's also a little bit of history with this film as well. Apparently it was found, the DVD was found in the truck of the highway killer Adam Leroy Lane, who murdered 2 people and attempted to murder 3 others. It was found with more DVDs as well, including Predator, Alien vs Predator, Dead Stop and Dark Side. Not heard of the last 2, they look a bit angsty though. Apparently though, Hunting Humans was Leroy Lane's favourite film. It was found in the portable DVD player in the truck when it was seized, so no taste there. What's interesting though is that, so I got this little bit, I read this little tidbit on IMDb, on the trivia page. What's interesting about that, there's trivia now about the trivia on IMDb. What are you gonna do? So what's interesting about that piece of trivia is that it's weirdly colloquial and opinionated. It's quite casually written. Like usually the trivia is very rigid and very matter of fact, but in this one, he sort of takes the piss a little bit of Leroy Lane. There's a bit of opinion in there, and then it ends with a little hee at the end, which, yeah, I found that quite charming, and you don't really see it too often on IMDb, do you? Okay, let's have a look at this print then. It's not very good at all, really. It goes from low quality but sharp to just being a muddy mess. Not really sure what went wrong here. I don't know if it's something in the editing or the mastering or what, but it doesn't look good at all. There's a bit towards the end where the 2 characters are in the same bit of woods, but one shot has a clearly greener background than the other shot, so it looks like they're in completely different places. It's weird and it's not great. The sound's alright though, it's just badly mixed. I don't know, it's not great. There's not really any major issues. I feel like it's just the film itself isn't competently put together. And on the disc we get chapter select, a trailer for this film, and Hard Gore trailers. Once again, pretty bare bones. Okay, case time. Firstly, this cover is absolutely awful. It's far too busy and it looks super trashy. It really put me off watching it for a long time, this. There's a quote on the front saying that it won the DIY Film Festival, which I'm really surprised it's managed to win anything, really. And there's also 2 taglines, because one just isn't enough. The blurb is written okay, does give a fair bit away, though. We also get an incorrect spelling of there. They did so well with all the other variations of it as well. The runtime's only slightly off, so it's forgivable. And yeah, everything else seems okay. This is another example of the bigger Hard Gore banner, meaning that this was probably an earlier release for them. And on the inside we get a catalogue of other releases. Much smaller than the other ones that we've seen, and it's got like silly Goosebumps colours in the background. Overall then, this is terrible. I laughed a handful of times, but for the most part I was just bored out of my mind and could not wait for it to be over. The story could work if given to the right people, in a bit of tightening up, shot better. I mean, maybe. There's not even decent gore to fall back on with this, unfortunately. I'd say avoid this one. If you want in an early 2000s angsty killer movie, probably better off watching Nutbag, to be honest. It's stupider, it's ridiculous, and it's half an hour shorter. So yeah, avoid this one. If you are in the market for a copy though, this is pretty much your lot, and the print isn't great, there's no special features. There is a Shriek Collection DVD, but as we've said many times on this channel, they just copy other DVDs and release them as their own, so it's probably identical to this one. But to be honest, I wouldn't bother, really. It's not worth your time. So yeah, not very good, this episode at all. Next episode though is looking to be potentially the worst thing I've looked at on this channel. Maybe, I'm not fully sure yet, but judging by the name and the cover of this DVD, oof, we're in for a treat. You never know though, it might be the best thing we've ever watched. Next episode, we are checking out Aquanoids. Just a quick aside before you all leave, if you've stuck around this long, thank you so much by the way. I've got just a few things that I wanted to mention about the channel and other things that are happening. I want to start off by saying that I'm working currently on a new short film. Going to be the biggest thing I've ever done. It's been shot and it's currently in the editing process, and I'm hoping to have it done in the next few months. It's called It's All Wrong, and for those who don't know, I do make short films, animations, live action and stuff like that on my other channel, Old Man Chimes Films. If that's something you're interested in, maybe go check it out. But this one looks like it's going to be sort of similar in tone to a lot of other stuff that I do. It's surreal, horror, comedy. This one's inspired by a Samuel Beckett play called Waiting for Godot. So if you're interested in that, it should be coming soon-ish. But this leads me into the second part, which is thanks to you guys for watching, subscribing, all that stuff. I've managed to reach a milestone with the channel where I can now offer memberships to people. I know I have a Patreon as well, so what I've done is I've mirrored the tiers, basically. There is a tier missing in the members side, the early access stuff. That is a Patreon only one, but I might migrate that across as well. So if you're on Patreon, you're not missing out on members. If you have always wanted to support the channel in some way, but you're not a fan of Patreon, you can now do it through the members stuff. And that's kind of what I wanted to mention as well. The stuff that you donate, the subscriptions, they all go towards obviously buying this lot, any film that I review. Shameless have been putting stuff out, haven't they, this year, so a lot of it goes towards that, but some of it also goes towards my creative projects as well. Anyone who signs up before the end of July, regardless of tier level on both Patreon or on the members stuff, they will be credited in my next short film, because all the money that I'm earning at the moment is sort of going towards that until the next Shameless film or the next thing I need to review comes out or something like that. So I generally only offer in the credits names for, like, I think it's Official Old Man, which is like £3 a month. But because this has been such a big project and every little bit of cash I've been able to raise for it has helped massively, I'm just going to put everybody in. So even if you didn't want to do the £3 one, that's fine, your name will still get in. But thank you everyone for watching, for subscribing. It's all adding up to me actually being able to make something from this, which is amazing. And I'm obviously wanting to put that back into the channel and give you more stuff to enjoy as well. But yeah, thanks so much, and if you do want to be a member, thanks. Thanks to all the members and patrons as well who've been really helping me out with this. The next milestone is 1,000 subs, which I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year, hopefully. I might be doing a push goal at some point. It might be a case of if we get to 1,000 subs by such a day, I'll do a collection video or something like that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you've stuck around and listened to me ramble on about this sort of stuff, thank you so much. I really can't wait to show you my short film when it comes out. I'm super excited about it. Thanks for watching this long, and see you in the next one.